Good evening.
My name is Sarah.
Nice.
I don't want this to sit. My mouth is kind of big. I'm going to go a little unorthodox. So my scripture will be in the middle. I just want to pray before I begin.
Okay.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I thank you for this opportunity.
Yes,
I thank you for being God.
mm.
I ask you that let this help somebody along the way.
Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, I ask you to be my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
I do have notes. I do, but I don't think I'm gonna go too much off of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to you there about the one thing a lot of people don't want to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
and that's church hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You all, this is hard. I'm not talking about the type of church hurt where your child don't get to sing in the choir, so you leave the church. Or you really ain't supposed to be up here speaking, and you get up and you leave the church. I'm not talking about that type of church. I'm talking about when you are being manipulated. When you are being taken advantage of. I moved here in 2001 with my husband. And I'm from Colorado. When we moved here, the one thing about Shreveport that blew my mind, it was a culture shock. I had never seen so many of us in my life. So that part right there alone was enough to take me to the point where I was being manipulated. When I got here, I realized I had to get in church. I had to get somewhere so I would not be lost. I found me a church. I went to this church and I sat back and I looked at things and I watched things. I even asked God about things. Some stuff I couldn't understand. But somehow I got caught in the web. And when I got caught in this web, I'm going to tell you how it was done. The first thing they had to do, they knew they couldn't reach anyone else. They knew they couldn't mess with anyone else. But the first thing a manipulator must do is remove you from who you know. So what they did was,
Come on now.
That's all right. You got this. You got it.
Come
on.
Come on. Oh, my Lord.
y'all, this is a lot of anger. They took me from my in-laws. And this is what they planted in my head. And you think about listening to this every day. Someone coming and telling you, I would go and say something like, oh, I did this with my in-laws. I did this with my in-laws. And they're coming back telling you this one thing over and over again. They're doing it because of Bill.
Come on.
That's all right.
Come on.
That's all right.
They don't care about you.
That's all right.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
So what I did for 7 years, I walked away from my in-laws. Biggest mistake I made. once they worked on my in-laws, they came from my family.
Mm.
The one thing they said was, your family is your worst enemy.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, my family is my worst enemy. How could that be? They all I know. How are they my enemies? And the way that they tell you, it's like, I can't even give you an example, but it made me move back from my sister, who I talk to every day. Every single day I talk to her. And the more that they could pull me in, the bigger the demands got. Bigger the demands got. You get so lost in a manipulator that you lose yourself.
That's true.
You lose yourself. And I'm taking this story fast, but I'm about to back up. I was in a place where I can't explain this place to y'all, but I was around these people for 13 years. I felt something was wrong, but I couldn't get out of it. But something was wrong, but why can't I get out of this? And I won't out. But I couldn't. It took me to meet Amiana. And at that time, when I met Amiana, I had this wall up. Not knowing yet that I was being manipulated. Not knowing that I was in danger. I did not know. What led me to it is because I was lonely. I'm here by myself.
Yep.
I have my in-laws, but now I'm turned against them. I have my husband, he's there, but I'm lonely for something that's familiar to me. So don't ever say, I won't do that. I could never lose my mind and go into something like that. Because when your heart is aching, you walk into a mini of
Yep. Yep. That's right, Miss
So,
Sarah.
I meet Amiana. She comes in this little purple car. She just happy to But right now I got this wall up. So she's watching me, and I know she's watching me. And she'll come in, hello, Miss Sarah. Hello, Miss Sarah. Okay. Finally, they went and they made her the assistant manager. Oh, I was mad then. Because I was a person who, and I can still be this way, who is very private. I don't want nobody to know my business. So imagine being that person with that wall that's building up and you don't know why you have a wall. And then there's this. So then he says, one day we're there, I'm there, and I start singing. And she picks up the song. And I look at her. So when I'm bored, I sing. So then I'm sitting there another day and I sing again. And she picks up the song. I said, okay, let me sing this song. I know she don't know this song. So she sings the song. I had to stop her. And I said, are you coaching? And she said, Miss Sarah, I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means. Church of God in Christ. She said, I grew up in the, going to the Church of God in Christ. That makes sense why you know these songs. But she kept trying to edge her way in. And I'm watching her. So one day we're talking. And we're talking about our parents. I'm showing you how God works.
Yes.
When God wants to get something out
Yes.
your life,
Yes.
He'll find a way to do it.
Yes. Come on,
Let me
Miss
show
Sarah.
you how He did this. When she said she was Church of God in Christ, that was familiar. I grew up in that. I knew that. When we were sitting there and we were talking about our parents, she said, my daddy is a pastor. I said, what denomination is he? She tells me. I said, what's his name? Rodney Williams. I said, my daddy used to be a pastor, and his last name was Williams. Okay, that's 2 comments. We go on. She brings up her mother. And I have a habit of asking people when someone passed. And I asked her, when did your mother pass? What was the date? She said February 5th. Y'all, I'm getting real suspicious now. I'm getting suspicious. Because my mother passed February 5th.
Whoa.
We keep talking. I'm getting somewhere, y'all. We keep talking. And as we're talking, she says, Miss Sarah, when's your birthday? I said, May 11th. She said, she bust out laughing. And I said, Amiana, what's so funny? By now, she's kind of pulled my heartstrings. So she said, my oldest sister's birthday is the same day. What God had to do was get me to a point where I would trust Him. Because He used her to open my eyes. Once she got past that wall, now she can begin to ask the real questions. What's wrong with you? What is this wall that you have up? When I began to tell her about these people, she looked at me and Amiana said, Miss Sarah, don't you go back. I had to go back just to be sure one thing. Was she saying what God was telling her to say? Come on. When I went back to that pastor and I sat in that pastor's face, and we sat there and I needed an understanding of what this church was doing, where it was going. Because right now it ain't going nowhere. So he sat. There was a couch here and I sat here. He sat just like this and talked the whole time. I knew then where I stood with you. I'm nothing to you. I need to get out of this. I got out. And not without having to, and people told me, and there were people who were afraid to tell me, get out of this, Sarah. But I was not listening because I'm feeling like I'm doing the work of Him that sent me. That's the way that I felt. No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. The biggest part that hurt my heart is when I got out and God was opening. That was the crazy part. He would open day to day how I was being manipulated. Day to day. And then I said, when we go through something, the one thing we never want to do, we never want to ask, what did I do wrong? So I was dumb enough to ask. I said, Lord, where did I miss it? You shall have no other God before me. I worship man more than I worship God. And because of that, I went through what I went through. But I got out of it. God got me out of it.
Yes, He did.
When I turned around and I realized I didn't know who I was, I never thought you could lose yourself your identity being manipulated.
Ooh, my
I would
Lord.
have never
Yes.
thought that.
Yes.
Here I am, 42
Yes.
years old, and when I turn around and I look at this thing from a different view, I don't know who Sarah Yerby was.
Yes.
I had
Yes.
no clue.
Yes.
That's crazy. I'm 42 years old and I'm still searching. I'm still in this. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and tell y'all, oh, I'm delivered.
Right.
No.
No, right.
I'm still in the process.
Mm.
And I'm gonna make it through this.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Yes, you will.
If it costs my life, I'm gonna make it through this.
Yes, yes.
There were trying times. Even when it came, there was a lot of trying times. There really was. And a lot of tears that were shed, but I made it through it, y'all.
Yes, you did.
I made it through it.
You did.
I had a presentation, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to leave you with this. I don't get up here and tell my testimony just for you to know my business and to go run and tell it.
Yes.
That's not why I give my testimony.
Yes.
I give my testimony because I want you to go out and help somebody else.
Yes.
When Amy Anna asked me to do this, the first thing I told her was no. No, I'm not going to get up there and talk about that. Because I felt like at the time, my life was in danger. Sarah, your life ain't in danger. You think you're too hard about it. No. And I said, okay. I went back. I told somebody that she asked me would I speak. And I'm going to tell you what got me up here. When I told the young lady, and some of y'all know who this is and who would say this. When I told the young lady, she asked me to speak. And she said, what did you say? I said, I don't want to do it. She said, are you stupid? That's what she said. That's what pushed me, because I don't want nobody to sit in bondage. You can have a testimony and God has walked you through the process, but now you're still sitting in bondage because you don't want to share it because you're ashamed, because you feel stupid, because I'm telling you what I felt. I felt like, God, you got me out here looking stupid. I'm the product of a pastor's daughter. He don't care about that. He didn't care about that. You're going to go through this. You're going to go through this.
Yes.
Y'all, help somebody else.
Somebody.
Unmuzzle their mouth.
Yes.
Whatever your testimony is, tell it.
Tell it.
No matter how ashamed you feel, tell it. That's your testimony. That's your chance to sit and to talk about God's goodness
Yes.
and how great He is. Because when you do that, you unmuzzle somebody. I'm going to read this scripture and I'm going to go. I went way off, but I do want to leave you with this. This is 2 Corinthians 1 and 4. Who comforted us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. I leave you with this.
You did good.
Step out like a soldier and walk into your destiny.
Come on, God.